Hey guys, welcome back to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we are back with a Jinx top build, and this is gonna be a on-hit Jinx build. So you can actually see right here, this guy who's the second Jinx with 9 animals used to be the top Jinx like when I played this gameplay, which is only just like a day ago, but he's now like the second. But either way, he basically goes for this weird on-hit Jinx. So I played like a couple of games of this honestly, and I'm actually surprised that it actually feels pretty good. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that part in the gameplay itself, but now let's just go through the build first. So first up, you want to go for the Gluttonous Grease for the AD and the Omnivamp, and then you want to go for Terminus. Now Terminus, of course, we all know is a really good first item, especially for building on hit. Of course, it gives you AD attack speed, on hit magic damage, as well as giving you the stacking resistances and the stacking penetrations. And then, of course, as with any on-hit build, we go for Runans. Now, on Jinx in particular, we actually go for Runans before Bork, because, of course, with Runans, you can, of course, use it with your rockets. And, of course, this is going to allow you to launch 3 rockets at the same time, which is going to do a lot of splash damage. And they can splash off each other as well to just deal a lot of extra damage, essentially. So, then we have Bork. Of course, Bork mainly allows you to deal with the tanks, which is something that Jinx with crit build can have a little bit of trouble dealing with sometimes. And then, of course, you just get physical Vamp, good stats, more AD and attack speed, and of course, you have the Drain passive as well. Now, last 2 items are very flexible, but what I personally like to go for is I actually like to go for Bloodthirster as my next item, because at this point, I have a lot of attack speed, but not a lot of attack damage, and Bloodthirster is just an amazing item overall. Gives you a lot of attack damage, and gives you, of course, the Vamp as well. Now, last item, you want to get a defensive option. So here, I just put Maw as a placeholder, but you have a lot of other options as well. You could go for Wit's End, and of course, you could go for a Shield Bow, or you could even go for Amaranth Twin Guard, which is what some of these Jinxes are going for. Now, that second Jinx is not the only Jinx in the top like 10 that's using this build. There are other people using this build as well, and a lot of them have Twin Guard in the build. And I can kind of see why, I guess, as it does give you the extra tankiness, so when you reset, you can kind of run at them. Because on Jinx, honestly, you do take quite a decent amount of damage when you're kind of just running at them and trying to get resets and stuff like that. So I think it does make sense. So for the runes, of course, you want to go for Lethal Tempo for the attack speed and the attack range. Brutal because you auto attack a ton. Giant Slayer is generally going to be good here, and Alacrity for more attack speed. Or you could even go for Bloodline for the Vamp. And then, of course, you have Bone Plating for the defensive options, and as usual for the spells, we have Flash together with Ghost, which of course resets together with your passive as well. But with all that said, now let's move on to talking about our gameplay. Alright, so now we're jumping into the gameplay itself. Now, first thing I want to really discuss is, how does this build compare to the crit build? Now, I think that the crit build is definitely the superior build in the late game, but surprisingly enough, I actually think that this build actually feels better than the crit build in the early game. And I can't really explain why, because if you want to use logic, basically both builds you build Runans as a second item, right? So that's a constant variable, right? The main thing that changes is first item Bloodthirster versus first item Terminus, and then third item Bork versus third item Magnetic Blaster, right? But I actually found that first item Terminus actually feels better than first item Bork. Now, Bork in theory gives more stats, like it gives more AD, so you should be dealing more damage with it. However, I somehow feel that with Terminus, I feel that you actually do a little bit more damage. Now, I'm not sure if that is because the penetration early actually makes a difference, or just getting the extra attack speed, the extra 30% attack speed actually allows you to output damage faster, and as such you actually do more damage in the long run. But although I think that mathematically Bloodthirster lets you deal more damage, I think just by a feel basis, just because you can attack more, maybe it kind of feels that Terminus just feels better. And also, Terminus, the major difference is it gives you the defensive stats, and you can really feel the extra tankiness you get from Terminus in those longer fights. So yeah, and also, of course, Bork helps you with the tanks a lot, and compared to Blaster, where Blaster just gives you attack speed and attack range, the Bork, of course, gives you the same amount of attack speed, but it gives you physical Vamp and AD instead, so I think that's actually a really big difference. So now here, looking at what's going on in the gameplay, we've actually been bullying the Milio Tristana pretty hard. Tristana tries to jump in, takes a chunk of damage here. Milio gets rooted. I'm just blasting. I have full stack Lethal Tempo at this point. I'm trying to just get the last hit on him. We do, and unfortunately we ran out of mana for Rocket, so Jinx, not Jinx, Tristana is able to escape. But we get an early kill in lane, which on Jinx is really, really rare. Now, of course, this is nothing to do with the build, because at this point, whichever build you're going for, you're only going to have a longsword anyway, but it's really just due to us bullying them and chunking them out and just, just poking them every opportunity we get in general. And that's really the main reason why we were able to get that kill right there. So, yeah, overall, I do still think this is a very viable build, and you can definitely go for this build, but I would still go for the crit build um, as a default build. I think maybe this build is, you can pull it out in certain matches, especially with the tank when there are a lot of tankier targets on the enemy team. Here we're getting ganked by Vi, and here I'm able to remain relatively safe without even using any summoner spells. And here I'm actually turning the fight now, because I'm going to grab some fruit, and I see my jungler actually making his way here. Although I don't even need him at this point, I'm killing Jinx, I get the reset, I'm going on Milio now, I get the kill on Milio as well, and Vi is now the one who has to run for the hills. Pretty funny change of events where the enemy team ends up chasing us, but they overextend, and as a result, they actually get punished and they die. So now I'm 3-0 as Jinx within the first 3 minutes of the game. And when this happens, it's obviously going to be an amazing sign, because Jinx is like that champion. Look at this snipe, by the way. Boom, he lives with 1 HP. How disappointing. But anyway, Jinx is one of those champions like Vayne, who are not meant to get kills in lane. Now, why do I say they're not meant to get kills in lane? Because hyper carry champions who are really late game, like Jinx, like Zeri, like Vayne, they're balanced by like having a weak early game, right? So you shouldn't be getting kills in lane. Lane is like where you should be struggling and like, just trying your best to farm. So generally you shouldn't be getting kills in lane. If you actually get kills in lane, you're going to be so far accelerated and so far ahead that generally you should be able to carry games and win games for your team. Of course, this is dependent on what else happens in the game. Like, is there one like very fat assassin on any team, things like that. But in general, getting kills in lane on these like hyper carry champions that shouldn't be getting kills in lane is an amazing sign. So here we once again have them under tower, and here once again we are going to be bullying them a little bit. I do get another plate, and here Tristana goes on me. I put the traps just so that she can't jump on me, because obviously I don't want that. Tristana gets stunned up a little bit here. We get a couple of free autos in, and we just look at that auto damage, by the way, because we do have the BT first item, not BT, BF sword first item. And here Fizz tries to come in, and here you can see I'm actually kiting them out pretty well. And I actually nearly kill Fizz, but the summoner heal comes out from Milio, and Fizz survives. I try to kill Tristana, and the Milio W heals her just enough so she doesn't die to turret. I was a little bit miffed at how close I was to getting one or both of them, but Milio put a stop to me in both instances, which I guess obviously Milio is doing his job. But and when you're on the receiving end of that, wow, that's really irritating. But yeah, we did get kind of stopped by Milio there, both by summoner heal as well as his actual heal on the W. But yeah, it ends up kind of not exactly working out how we wanted it to, so we do end up dying and giving Tristana a shutdown, which is definitely not what you want, because Tristana is also a champion that scales very, very well into the game and gets items when she gets items. And yeah, but it is what it is, so we're gonna go back to the game and go back to farming slash doing damage to the enemy champions in lane. So any team is probably doing the dragon, seeing as how the only person contesting hero is Mordekaiser, who's the top lane. So most likely they're doing dragon, and they actually do. Of course, we are aware of that, so we don't want to overextend here or anything like that. And yeah, so we do actually get that wave, and I was gonna recall here, but Vi goes in on Nami. I put down the traps as well. I'm trying to help Nami escape, and at the same time, I'm trying to maybe get a kill for myself as well. I miss the Vi, unfortunately. Xin Zhao does get the kill though, and now I'm blasting over the wall. I'm trying to get the kill onto the Milio. The double kill comes through from Xin Zhao, but he does die to Tristana, and now I'm in a 1v1 against Tristana, where I can't really kill her because she's under the tower. So all I can really do is to go for the tower itself. For some reason, Tristana actually walks up and tries to 1v1 me. I say some for some reason, but in reality, she actually nearly killed me there, so I guess that does make sense. But we thankfully are able to clutch it out, and we are able to actually pick up the kill on her. Unfortunately, though, Fizz is roaming and does get the free kill onto us, whilst we were busy, intensely focusing on the fight, and obviously we can't look at the map to see him roaming up. But yeah. So, pretty interestingly, the Yasuo has actually taken the Fizz's entire tower. So Yasuo is actually 0-1, but he's like a good amount of gold ahead of the Fizz, and yeah, which is really weird, right? And the Fizz's only kill comes from me. So yeah, it's a pretty strange situation. Either way, I'm the most fed person on the Rift, um, and we're definitely in a really good spot here. So here we're trying to help out our Nami. Here I actually rocket bot to try to snipe the Vi, but Vi actually dies before my rocket reaches, and I really would want my rocket right here to blast the Milio or the Tristana, but Milio lives on 1 HP, I flash forward, now I'm going for Tristana, and Tristana actually kills me before I kill her this time, and yeah, so if I had the rocket there, I didn't just waste, I wouldn't say waste, but I didn't launch it at bot lane, I think I would have been able to cleanly kill the both of them without too much trouble, but unfortunately that was not the case, and we do end up dying in the process of getting that kill. And once again though, it is what it is, and it is a pretty bloody game in general. We do have 5 kills, but we also have 3 deaths, and same goes with Tristana actually. She does have kind of very similar KDA to mine. And yeah, now we're gonna get back to it. Hitting back up the lane. And I'm gonna put a ward just for vision, clearing it out. Tristana dodges the Nami bubble, pretty well done. Unfortunately, Vi comes right as we're trying to engage. Vi actually engages onto me, and now I'm just stuck there because I don't have summoner spells, and Vi just locks me down. So a little bit of a not the best fight that we picked because we didn't know where Vi was, and we picked the fight anyway. And our team is just kind of dying across the map. Now, just judging by their behavior, honestly, Nautilus and Yasuo are not really the best players. And I really don't know how Yasuo managed to get the tower over Fizz. Was Fizz just perma roaming or what? But anyways, yeah, so now we're back on the map. Xin Zhao is at top, and there's a huge wave in mid. Yasuo is going bot. The Yasuo basically only cares about fighting and kills. He doesn't care about waves and stuff. So here I'm just taking his wave because this whole wave is gonna die to the tower because Yasuo has roamed bot instead of actually taking care of his lane. So here I was thinking of going back top, but Xin Zhao is still there. He's not recalling or showing me any signs of him leaving. So I'm not gonna compete with him for the wave. I'm just gonna take the mid wave instead, and now I'm gonna reset to get my item completion on my Runans. Here I try to get the snipe onto Fizz, but it doesn't actually hit. And yeah, Xin Zhao is staying in my lane for a long time for a jungler, because all he really needs to do is clear the wave and go back to farming jungle or resetting, right? But he stays there for a good minute or so and just becomes a laner for a second. I guess he did farm enough gold to get Triforce, so I guess that was worth it. Dragon is coming up in about 15 seconds. And of course I did just hit my spike of having my Runan, so it's definitely a fight that I personally want to take, because pretty much my team is me and Xin Zhao on 2-item power spikes, whereas the enemy team don't really have any 2-item power spikes, so this is definitely an opportune moment for us to pick a fight. Now Tristana just overextends by herself, gets chain CC'd by Nami, and Xin Zhao pushes her away, and so we do get the reset eventually. We kill the Milio, and now we can focus the dragon. Fizz outs over the wall into the pit, but I'm able to secure the dragon, and thankfully the Fizz out doesn't actually steal the dragon. Now Xin Zhao back to my lane to steal my farm, of course, instead of farming his entire blue side jungle, which is actually up. But anyways, now we're gonna grab this tower, and now we get a reset, and here we run into Mordekaiser and Vayne. I don't want to go too close because Mordekaiser, if he ults me, I'd probably die because Jinx has no mobility and no real way to escape Mordekaiser while she's in the ult. So the most likely outcome there is just I straight up die to him, and obviously I'm not a fan of that. Vi hops the wall, which forces me to Ghost to run away. She flashes and ults me, and I'm in a little bit of a spot of bother here. I'm about to die right here, but Nami actually heals me with both Summoner heal as well as her W heal, and I'm actually able to survive. And I live to see another day, so pretty fortunate there. The fight continues, but I don't really want to continue the fight because I want to actually reset and get back my health. And now the fight is still ongoing, so I'm going to try to make my way back there and see if anything can be done. Unfortunately, my team is kind of getting wiped out with the exception of Nautilus, who's stuck on the tower, and Yasuo, who's busy split pushing. So here I'm trying to see if I can help Nautilus, but I realize that the tower is going to die, so I'm going to have to actually run instead of help. And Nautilus is just going to die because he gets tagged by the Fizz out. And here, unfortunately, I make a mistake, which is that I go up way too far trying to help Nautilus, and as a result, I get run down by the Tristana, so it doesn't actually quite work out in this instance. So yeah. So we do end up copying another death there, 7-5 and 4. Definitely not the best kind of KDA match for sure. But you know, as usual, it is what it is. Yasuo with really poor target selection. He's focusing Milio when he should be focusing Tristana. Xin Zhao though, he knows what's up. He's going straight for Tristana, ignoring Milio, and he gets the kill onto both of them eventually. So now I've respawned and I'm trying to rejoin my team, you know, for the fight. But there isn't really much for me to do here, so I end up not grouping my team and instead just going to the side lane to farm because, yeah, there's nothing really much to do here. We can't really start Baron or anything like that, so we just do what we can to just get farm. Now here we don't really have vision of anyone except Vi, who's like at the Baron area, so I'm being a little bit cautious with farming here. Now I can see Fizz and Mordekaiser, so I'm a little bit, I feel a little bit safer now. The fight is happening in bot lane, so I'm taking the Hex Gate to try to join my team. Fizz is headed towards her as well, but he realizes that it's not a good fight. Mordekaiser is still in the Death Realm. He's about to come out right now. And now he has like 4 people just blasting him into next week. He goes down. Enemy team is trading it for a mid lane tower in the meanwhile, and we're struggling to hit over and stop them. Obviously, they know we're coming, but Tristana gets caught anyway. Milio is not getting caught as well. I'm just blasting them with the rockets and the runans. We get the kill onto Milio. We get the reset. Fizz is dashing and flashing away. Tristana running in the wrong direction, and she's obviously gonna go down. Didn't even need to actually use my ult there. But yeah, so we get rid of essentially the entire enemy team. We can reset, pick up our Bork at this point with all the kills and the farm that we've gone. And my team is making a ping for Baron. So they want to, of course, grab the Baron for, or rather we want to grab the Baron for ourselves, and they're starting it out. I'm just kind of hitting over there. And of course, very important for the ADC to be at Baron to DPS the Baron. You can see the Baron is like only half HP. The enemy team is realizing what's going on, and they're trying to contest with 3 people, so we should be fine. I'm trying to DPS the Baron as fast as I can. Mordekaiser is heading straight in. He ult, so I can't actually hit him, so I'm going to switch targets to going for Vi instead. We get her. Fizz is running for the hills, and we can't really catch him. So here I actually try to snipe the Mordekaiser, who I thought would be in one of those bushes, but he wasn't, so doesn't quite connect again. A lot of my like long range ultis have not really been hitting the mark this game, except though like one from top to bot where I hit Mordekaiser where he lived on 1 HP. And here I'm just gonna quickly clear the wave. Last dragon is spawning, but it really isn't important because the last dragon, like no team can get soul, so that makes the last dragon like not very valuable at all. So instead, I think the better move is to actually push with the TX. So here you can see, whenever you have the TX, or the enemy team has the TX for that matter, any Runan's champion has huge value because TX kind of forces the both teams to group up and 5v5. And when you have like Runans, you're able to just blast multiple people at the same time. And just look at that. One Runan's blast and like all 3 of them just took like so much damage. So here you can see more like rockets with Runan's combo here. I actually get hit by the Fizz ult that was on the TX that I didn't even notice was there. And yeah, so here unfortunately I'm running out of mana. So now Tristana's jumping in. I know what happens when that happens. So just look, 4 auto attacks I really did. 5 auto attacks I think would probably kill me. So here I take the fruit mostly for the mana, and I'm trying to rejoin the fight. Tristana sees blood and flashes in, but she's now in trouble herself, and she dies, gives me a reset. Milio goes down as well. I clear the wave so that we can maybe push an end if we win the fight. Mordekaiser comes in, and I'm just blasting him. Now here it's quite comical, because Vi was about to kill me, but Mordekaiser actually pulled me away from Vi and pulled me towards him that gave me a reset. Now I'm actually DPSing the Vi with the minigun, and I'm able to kill her and get the reset. And then now off of that, Mordekaiser essentially saved me, helped me to kill him, gave me a reset, and then helped me to kill Vi. So that's really comical. So here we basically lifesteal off of the 2 waves, we get the reset on the tower, and now we're just blasting the base, and that's gonna be it for the game. So I'm gonna leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.